on to my guest for this evening now, and with me here is Lucy Fleming, a Schools Outreach Project Officer for RSPB. Thank you so much for joining us, Lucy. Let's start off by, if you just explain what RSPB actually is.
Yes, of course. The RSPB is Europe's largest conservation charity, and our mission is to give nature a home. So we do this in a number of ways. We work with schools, we work with people to give nature a home in their own gardens, and we've also got a number of very beautiful nature reserves.
And where, across the Black Country or across the West Midlands, where are some of these nature reserves?
Yes, so we've got RSPB Middleton Lakes, that's near the village of Middleton, over towards Tamworth, and we've also got RSPB Sandwell Valley, which is not far from West Bromwich.
And are these very popular?
They are popular, yes, and the nice thing about them is particularly Sandwell Valley is surrounded by houses, so it's really in the centre of the community, and we've got a fantastic new visitor centre there that opened about a year ago now with wonderful facilities, and it's got a great picture window in the back so you can overlook the lake and look at all the birds while you're enjoying a cup of tea or coffee. So, no, it's brilliant.
Sounds lovely. So tell me about some of the work you do for RSPB.
Okay, so I'm the Schools Outreach Project Officer for Birmingham and the Black Country, and I feel very fortunate to be able to visit our primary schools and to work with children to explore the outside at school. So we look at school playing grounds, playing fields, and we've got a variety of workshops that we offer. We've been funded by Aldi supermarket chain, so their levy, the plastic bag levy for the single-use carrier bags, has been donated to the RSPB, so we're very fortunate to be able to offer free outreach workshops to primary schools in the region. Yes, so we do all sorts of things from bug hunts to mapping the habitats for wildlife at the school and advise schools on what they can do to make an even better home for nature at their setting.
So when you go into these schools, do you ever come across any children, or is there any indication that some of the children have never really had any real contact with nature?
Yes, certainly. I think that these days children are spending more and more time inside for a variety of reasons. And just last week I was in a school in South Birmingham, and we went outside, and they've got limited outdoor space at the school, and we were able to find 9 species of birds, and a lot of the children commented how they were really surprised that there was all this wildlife around them. They'd never noticed it, but I think it was also a surprise to some members of staff as well who didn't think we'd find much, so it just goes to show that nature is there if you look for it.
And why just schools?
So my project, as I've explained, has generously been funded by Aldi, so we've been given money specifically to work with children, and the RSPB chose to work with primary schools because it's a way for us to access a lot of children in Birmingham and the Black Country, and to also get access to children that possibly wouldn't spend much time outdoors, so opening up new audiences for us. But the RSPB as a wider society does work with all different groups, so people that visit nature reserves, people in their own homes, so it's just this part of the educational outreach project.
So the work you do regarding going into schools, when you go into schools to talk about nature with the children, what's their reaction like?
It's overwhelmingly positive. They're really, really enthusiastic, and it really does rub off on you. I mean, I love nature anyway, but it really does motivate you to want to do the best job possible. It's lovely, you go in and they're absolutely fascinated by the natural world, even things like earthworms and woodlice, or looking at the different bird species. I think sometimes children don't realise what a variety of birds they're able to see on their school grounds, and it's lovely seeing their reactions when they notice a different sort of bird for the first time, or they remember something they might have learnt about in class, or they identify a habitat they hadn't noticed before at school. So no, it's really positive, and it really, some of them have been so enthused, they've come away and said, oh, I want to work for the RSPB when I grow up, and it really does, it keeps you motivated to do the best job possible.
I understand that you have a clip for us, and I think that it will highlight the children's reaction, won't it?
Yes, yeah, it's great.
Well, here's a clip for you.
The RSPB Outreach Project is a chance for teachers to have an expert come in from the RSPB and talk to the children and show them the nature and things that can be found around their school grounds.
The RSPB are fantastic to work with. They bring everything, all the resources, all the equipment with them. All you have to have is school grounds.
I think you can talk to children about wildlife, about nature within the classroom, but really the most worthwhile learning takes place when they're out and about
They gain an experience outdoors that you just could never take into a classroom. Out here, their curiosity is just opened up and you can tap in and feed that.
It gives them that chance coming outside to apply what they've learned and to see what they've learned in real life and see it happening.
In the bottom of the pot.
Oh. Slugs and a worm. Yeah, we have a look. That one.
Just wait, maybe they'll fly out again.
There's a bag, there's a bag.
Today, the different activities that we did, really, they fit in very well to the curriculum, particularly with science and geography. It's really nice just to see the children using the kind of skills where they're just being very, very observant, which is really important for a whole bunch of the curriculum, that they're actually asked to stop and to listen and to identify things in different ways.
This is a huge amount of fun for us all, not just for me as a teacher, but the children have enjoyed being out here, and it helps being able to work with the RSPB and use their expertise. They know the language, they know a lot more than any of us do.
From a kid's point of view, a day like today is tremendous fun. They get to be outside with nature, they're off guiding their own learning, they're off discovering things themselves, they're asking their own questions, it's all centred around them.
So, there's one thing that I've been really keen to ask you, and that's about the Big School Bird Watch. So tell me what it's all about.
Yeah, so every year we run a special activity with schools, and this year we've extended the period that it runs for. So from after the children came back following the Christmas holidays all the way until the end of this week when they break up for their half term, primary schools have been able to take part in the Big Schools Bird Watch. And what happens is they can either do it as part of a workshop led by me, or all of the resources that you need are on our website, from counting sheets that have got bird ID pictures on them. And the idea is to encourage children to go out into their school grounds with their teachers for just 1 hour and to record the birds that they see. So it's very simple. You count the birds that land on the school grounds, and you record the most birds of the same species you see at the same time, just to make sure we're not counting any birds twice. And then we've got a really excellent website where you can submit the results, and all of that information goes to our conservation scientists. It's joined together with the information from the Big Garden Bird Watch, which is an activity that people can do in their own homes, which took place on the 30th and 31st of January this year. And on the school's website, when you've submitted the information, it produces graphs so you can see which birds you saw the most of, which you saw the least of, and actually you can also click on it to view the results from schools around the country, which is really interesting. So yeah, it's been a real success this year.
And very quickly, do you see this as an integral part of education?
I feel very strongly that outdoor learning is really important. I think it's really important for the children's health and well-being. It's really important for embedding learning that they've done in the classroom. So anybody can tell you about, mini beasts or birds on a whiteboard in the classroom, but what will really make the children remember the experience is going outside and getting their hands dirty and looking for different species, and that's something they're going to take away with them and hopefully will inspire them to sort of want to do more.
Well, it's been absolutely lovely talking to you. Thank you so much for coming on. It's time for a break. I'll see you after.
Thank you.